good evening friends. I'm standing just at the door of the Basilica of Sacred Heart of Jesus in Rome. The basilica built by Don Bosco himself. This is the center of Rome. The famous railway station called Termini of Rome is here. Perhaps Don Bosco never imagined that this would become the center of Rome. The central railway station, Termini. Today, the community of Don Bosco is surrounded by this central railway station of Rome called Termini. To commemorate the beatification of John Paul II, there's a huge statue of the Pope just put at the entrance to this bus stand and railway station. Though many people criticize this statue, but according to the artists, they say this is to commemorate this special event of the beatification of John Paul II. Today we had the ordination to diaconate of Father Felix Dakar from Shillong. Perhaps he is the first Khasi deacon to be ordained here by a Salesian bishop who works at the Vatican, Bishop Mario Toso, who was a Rector Magnificus in the Salesian University in Rome. All the confreres of the province of Guwahati were here around Felix to join him on this celebration to share his joy of the diaconal ordination here. There were 11 deacons, practically from all the 11 countries of the world. Among them, there were 3 Indians. One from Kerala, one from the province of Delhi, and of course our own dear Felix from Guwahati province. It was a very lovely experience to see such a big crowd coming for the celebration. There were parishioners from the parishes where our deacons go for their ministries on Sundays. Among the celebrants, there was Father Francis Chereda, the formation superior of the Salesian congregation. There was the provincial of the university, Father Joachim de Souza, are the rectors of all the Salesian communities of Rome, the deans of different departments of theology from the Salesian University, the other confreres of Rome, besides many members of the Salesian family. The biggest group perhaps was the Salesian sisters who came from Auxilium. There are, I think, about 6 Salesian FMAs from Shillong, Khasi sisters from Shillong, studying in the Auxilium Institute of Education. Well, it was a nice experience for all of us. These are the rare occasions that we priests and nuns gathered together here in Rome. So it was, I think, in general, a very lovely experience, a faith experience for all of us. And for us Salesians of Guwahati province, it was a very proud moment. In fact, we were proud that from among us, from the province of Guwahati, we had one youngster being ordained here in Rome, in the very basilica built by Don Bosco himself. What you see at the back is the famous Basilica of Sacred Heart in Rome, Sacro Cuore, the basilica built by Don Bosco himself. For us Salesians, the basilica is very dear and very historic. The basilica was built by Don Bosco at the suggestion or at the order of Pope Leo XIII. I think it took about 4 or 5 years to complete the basilica. It was built between the year 1865 till 1868. It is in this basilica where there's a room of Don Bosco from where he wrote that famous letter, officially among the Salesian circles called the Letter from Rome, written in 1884, in which he mentions about the preventive system and the importance of Salesians being with the boys at all times, Salesian assistants, in other words. It is also at this basilica where they say there is that altar on which Don Bosco wept while celebrating his Holy Mass. He was recalling all the works that Our Lady accomplished through him. And while saying his Mass, he became very emotional and he could not continue the Mass. He had to stop. The altar is below the statue of Our Lady in the Basilica. Mary, Help of Christians, very prominently placed, which is a replica of the picture that we have in Turin, in the famous Basilica of Mary, Help of Christians of Valdoco.